colorism. That's not what's going on.
Colorism only goes in one direction.
I'm gonna snatch my earring off. The way that people are in the comments still trying to defend and say that light-skinned people can experience colorism and calling it reverse colorism is blowing my mind.
All right, this is how bad they want to be accepted amongst degenerate Negroes. I'm talking about light-skinned people, especially a lot of these broads who be making these videos talking about colorism doesn't exist for light-skinned people. They're not even from the hood. So they wouldn't even know. They weren't even raised around people of color. They just faking the funk like they was. And anybody who's genuine knows that light-skinned people go through colorism, especially when they live amongst black people. All right. So that's terrible. And light-skinned people are too dumb to realize that they are homeless. They don't even have their own ethnic group. The light-skinned Negro, especially the male, is the most oppressed man on the planet Earth. It's not the dark-skinned black male. It's the light-skinned Negro male, the mulatto male who's the oppressed, but not the dark-skinned black man. Y'all been brainwashed and tricked to believe in that. But let me keep playing what she's saying.
Saying reverse colorism is like saying reverse racism. It does not exist.
Yes, it does.
People who are oppressed cannot oppress other people. They don't have the power.
Yes, they do. All right, that's another false narrative that they've been concocting, that dark-skinned people are powerless. They are powerless to a certain extent. But dark-skinned people are the majority over light-skinned Negroes. So with you being the majority, you're able to flex your population and oppress a certain group. All right? The dark-skinned Negro has more power than the light-skinned Negro. They're giving more benefits and more resources than the average light-skinned male is. Y'all been brainwashed to believe it's the opposite, but it's not. All right? And let me say this. Growing up in the hood, light-skinned people, dark-skinned people even tell y'all this to y'all face. But they so damn weak, or they want to be accepted amongst dark-skinned, dysfunctional dark-skinned niggas so bad. They even tell y'all to their face that they mistreat light-skinned people. All right? What dark-skinned people would do, they knew that they was in a lower state. We all were. But dark-skinned people would concoct fake narratives, and reasons why they can take their anger out on light-skinned people. Because they had an issue really with Caucasian people. But they know they wasn't strong enough or powerful enough to take it out on white people. And they actually are scared of white people. So what they would do is they would take their anger out on light-skinned children. Particularly the male children especially. And the women as well. And they knew they can get away with that because they outnumbered light-skinned Negroes. They had more of an abundance. It wasn't because they were strong or anything. They know that they are the majority. And they know they can flood light-skinned people's voices out. Why do you think you got guys like Kwame Brown who get on this app and able to talk this cash shit about light-skinned dudes? Why does he feel so comfortable with doing that? Because you have bugged out light-skinned chicks like her. And you have all these other people who has never been checked before. Why didn't they feel so cocky for it? Because they've been doing this. It's not anything new. And I had some idiot in the comments saying that light-skinned people are going to go through colorism. And I explained to him, he said, that's bullying, not colorism. What's the difference between bullying and colorism? If I walk up to a black girl and call her a dumb black bitch, that's bullying, that's colorism, that's prejudice. Not only that, that's hatred. It's the same thing. Colorism is not even a real word. It was made up in around the 2010s when Twitter came out because it was used to shame people out of preferring light-skinned people. All right? Dark-skinned Negroes, if you're from the hood, you know this. You know they literally purposefully outgroup light-skinned people and force them to do things. They get off on trying to walk around, not all of them, and try to intimidate light-skinned people specifically because they know they can't do it to another group. All right, so they would take their frustrations out on light-skinned people and make them punching bags. They've always done that. And they would shame light-skinned boys into not speaking about their issues by saying if you speak about it, that makes you soft. That makes you not a man. It makes you feminine. So that's why you have a lot of light-skinned dudes now who's afraid to say something because they going by that that dark skin code that they light skinned mamas done taught them, or that everybody has taught them. It's the same thing. It's like the kid to get molested at the park by the family member at the family reunion. You know, they all they're gonna do is gaslight them and say it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So when you say that, that's not true. Look at guys like Kwame Brown and the stuff he be saying about light skinned dudes. He literally told you to your face that he tortures light skinned people. Light skinned women go through colorism. Yes, they do. Absolutely. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen dark skinned women pick on light skinned women and outgroup them. I've seen dark skinned women beat up light skinned women real bad, hit them upside the head with bricks and all type of stuff. I've seen it. They get so jealous for no reason. They just see a light skinned chick and get jealous. I've seen it. They feel threatened by them. All right. I've seen dark skinned women literally tell their dark skinned sons to go get a light skinned girlfriend, and then when he bring her back, it makes her mad. It's like that's how mentally disturbed a lot of them are, because they're not getting colorism out of thin air. It's something they're being told to do. It's obvious. Also, I've seen a dark skinned woman say, "Don't date dark skinned dudes. Go somewhere else. Go get a light skin." She didn't say go get a light skin. Just go get another guy. You can't date dark skinned dudes. They'll literally turn around and go get with their counterparts. That even makes them even more angry. And then they shame them for saying. Then they turn around and say, "Y'all look like brothers and sisters." They will literally do that. They get off on trying to do that, trying to confuse them and trying to mentally and psychologically and spiritually abuse them and torture them. They get off on that. That's a mental disorder they have. Colorism is not nothing new. They've been doing this for thousands of years. All right, going back to the scriptures. So they concocted this narrative that light-skinned people can't go through color. That's bullshit, and they know it is. And they know that they can get away with it because y'all want to be accepted so damn bad amongst dark-skinned niggas. Especially the females. Oh my goodness. Amongst degenerate dark-skinned niggas specifically. And they know you can get away with it because y'all gonna tolerate it. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing. Yeah, a lot of y'all scary. The amount of I've seen light skinned bras get raped. All right, I've seen it. Light skinned girls who didn't even want to date dark skinned dudes, especially during the crack epidemic and stuff. Y'all crazy. You know they walk around calling light skinned girls bougie and because she didn't want to date them, and then they'll swerve back on the block and try to force her to have sexual relations. Yeah, all that stuff goes on. They say how sexually violent they are. Am I saying that light-skinned women don't get more opportunity as far as, you know, in Hollywood? Yeah, but like you can't use the average Ice Spice for the average light-skinned female walking around. That's the average woman is not getting into Hollywood. It's not happening. So you can't use her as a standard. All right. So y'all tripping with that.
So if you're light-skinned and you feel like you've experienced colorism, it was most likely bullying.
See the stupid shit I'm talking about? Think about how stupid these hoes sound when they say this. You didn't experience colorism, you experienced bullying. You can't make this shit up. I don't know if y'all was just scary as hell or y'all want to be accepted amongst them so damn bad. You know, and I think it's a bit of both.
It's not colorism, because I can almost guarantee you that nobody has ever told you that you're not worth shit because you're light-skinned.
Yes, light-skinned men and light-skinned women, we experience that in the hood all the time. All right, especially the men. You get told that you ain't shit. You go listen to Kwame Brown and shit that he was saying to Matt Barnes. He was like, he was telling them, you could never amount to me. I know you feel inadequate when you stand to me. He was telling him shit like that because he knows that community worships him and he's going to get away with it. And the people and the females was in the comments laughing at it. And Matt Barnes getting mocked for no reason. They was literally laughing about this shit.
You're less than other black people because you're light-skinned. That you're ugly simply because you're light-skinned.
Yes, we get told that. We get told that by black people. All right. Why you think you dumb light-skinned bitches are so self-hating? I don't like dating men with your reflection, which I don't have a problem with. I don't really give a damn who y'all date. But that is a programming that y'all under from dark-skinned people. Because I noticed the men, even though we get talking down to, we don't feel that way about ourselves. We don't allow dark-skinned people to influence how we feel about ourselves. The men, we don't do that. Some of us do, but the vast majority of us don't. We don't care about that. And what their opinions is on too much stuff. We're not thinking about them.
Or that you have no value simply because you're light skinned.
Yes,
and even if somebody has told you that before, that's not the general thought process behind most people. Colorism is driven by the idea that dark skinned people are less than because of the color of their skin.
This bitch stupid. They literally tell light skinned people all the time that you're not really black. Black is not a race, it's a color. But they literally tell you that all the time. They tell you that dark. Let's look at light skinned men and dark skinned men. Yeah, I literally say that to light-skinned dudes every single day on the app. In real life. That he is less than, he's not masculine because he's light. That's literally saying that he's inferior to that man because he's lighter than him. That's literally what that is. You're less than because your skin is not dark brown. Instead, you're light brown. So you're not, and dark-skinned dudes walk around saying that to light-skinned dudes all the time. The difference is your coochie get wet when he say it, but when the light-skinned dude say it, there's something wrong with him. They say it about light-skinned females all the time. So what are you talking about? This is not based in reality.
So like she said in the video, colorism only goes in one direction. So for you to be a light-skinned black person and say, oh, I've experienced colorism too, you literally sound like a white person saying somebody was racist toward you. Like,
you can't be racist towards white people. First off, what is racism is hatred. It's overt. It's like prejudice. All right? All human beings are prejudiced and racist. It's in our nature. It's in your nature to want to be around people that look like you. First off, what is prejudice? It's having a preconceived thought about a certain group of people based off of whatever, their race, their skin tone, whatever, ethnicity, whatever. That's what prejudice is. So you can say light-skinned dudes can't fight or light-skinned people can't fight. That's prejudice. You can say that black people can play basketball good. That's prejudice. That's racist because you're having a preconceived thought about a certain demographic of people. So anybody can be prejudiced. And also, it's kind of in nature to be prejudiced. For example, I have a niece who's light-skinned. Both of her parents are light-skinned. I have an uncle on my dad's side who's dark. He came over the other day. They met for the first time. My niece is 2 years old. She seen my uncle and ran from him. And started crying because she ain't never seen nobody that dark before. Because it's in nature to want to be around people that look like you. And she has to be broken out of that over time. And so she might not ever break out of it. But she has to be broken out of that over time. She naturally ran from him because that's not familiar to her. You even go to Africa. You see videos on YouTube of the African boys. They seen the white boy for the first time and thought he was a ghost and ran. Because it's in nature. Look at nature. Look at animals. So we're discriminatory. We discriminate just in our nature. It's in our nature to do that to some degree. All right? Of course, you want to treat people like human beings and treat people, rightly. That's why God gave us commandments and told us to be civilized. Because human beings by nature, we're not civilized. All right? So he had to give us a conscience and he had to give us morals and integrity and rules and codes to follow. If not, that's why you got black people in America. That's why they act the way they act, because they don't follow that. That's why I say there's no culture. That's why y'all treat each other the way y'all treat each other. So this notion that light-skinned Negroes can go through colorism is BS. And even dark-skinned people know it's BS. They just want you to believe it. They know that it's BS. But they know y'all gonna accept it. All right? For whatever reason, y'all scared or whatever. But I'm going to see you on the next one. I'm going to make some more series about this. I'm out.